Witam wszystkich bardzo serdecznie na kolejnym spotkaniu w ramach naszych spotkań online przy Festiwalu Filmów Fabularnych w Gdyni, konkurs filmów krótkometrażowych. Dzisiaj porozmawiamy w języku angielskim z twórcą filmu More albo filmu MOR, w zależności od tego, jak chcemy wypowiedzieć ten tytuł. Jest ze mną reżyser Nikita Tanadzhy i teraz przeniesiemy się do języka angielskiego, bo tak będzie nam łatwiej rozmawiać. Hi Nikita, nice to meet you, nice to have you at the festival. So, was I correct with saying that you can pronounce it more or M-O-R as it could be also described?
Yeah, more is what we intended. Yeah, more.
Okay, more, it's okay. So tell me what was the starting point for your story? Because it feels that it's grounded in reality. I don't want to spoil too much because it's a film with suspense. So I'm not going to dwell into details of the story that you're telling, but it feels that at the same time it's really full-fledged genre cinema and something that is telling us the truth about the reality around us. So what was the thing that you wanted to focus on at first, and then what comes next, if I may ask that question that way?
Yeah, it's a good comment actually, because the story started in a sense of the question, like the excitement was that such a boring place as immigration offices, usually nothing happens there, and but these places usually have lots of powers of people's lives. And for me, it was very interesting that usually people that make decisions in life, they're undramatic, and the most evil decisions on this in this world. So for me, it was very interesting to combine, as you noticed, this kind of very absurd suspense in a boring immigration office, which I find it funny, and I wanted to kind of have this absurd narrative because the film is absurd. So I just really wanted to kind of write it in a way that it's not the scenes are like absurd, but actually the narrative itself also absurd. So I was trying to combine these two parts, kind of boring, mundane life, and this suspense that is happening in his work of place.
Mm-hmm. And speaking of the work of place of work that our character is connected to, you show it in this like really green, gray, like mundane, as you said, reality. How to construct a place like that? Were you looking with your team to find a specific place that you're gonna put the story on, or you were constructing it from many different spaces? Because as we know, cinema is this theater of confusion and sometimes a bit cheating if it comes to places. So I was just wondering how the world around the character was constructed.
It was a huge cheating because it was like three locations. And the thing is that it was very hard to find very big office open spaces because at that time it was also COVID when it just started, and a lot of places just shut down, and we had to wait a few weeks. But then we got lucky because the location that we wanted to use was canceled, and then we actually found a better one. So it kind of was like luck, but we found a very good location, and we immediately found the shots on the place. Like we just entered and said, yes, that's a perfect location for the movie. But it was luck.
Yeah, sometimes out of luck comes the best solutions for the problems that we have at hand. Tell me a bit about the actor, Marek Zimakiewicz. I've never seen him in a film, and he seems a perfect guy to play the part. He's confused. He doesn't know what's going on. As I said, I don't want to spoil too much because the suspense is the key to the film, but and he doesn't really talk a lot, so we just are with him all the time, and he doesn't really help us as the character to feel what he feels actually, apart from the confusion. Can you tell us a bit about work with him?
So there's like two aspects. First, Marek, you haven't seen him because he is actually a puppeteer, and he is a great puppeteer, and he is an actor also, and he is a great actor, but he didn't do a lot of work in cinema. But he was a good friend of mine, and I wrote this part for him because I really like watching him in general. I find him, like, how he walks and how he like exists. I find it very interesting. So I told him that I want to write something comical with him. And when I wrote it, I showed it to him, and then he liked it. And so yeah, it was the best decision in this film is to cast him, because he's a very good actor and I recommend to everyone. But he's just not in cinema. He's like doing like a lot of theaters and other like installations. So, but he's also good on screen, as you could see. Yes, and about the distance of the character, yes, it's kind of it's the main challenge was to show, and I don't think maybe it's very readable, but to show like how to show ignorance in film when the character doesn't know anything, and this kind of like in a realistic way that it's kind of one like a detective genre. You kind of play with information of the
that was actually leading to my next question to you, because he doesn't know, we don't know, and he's our like agent in the film. So when he learns something, we're gonna learn with him. What's the challenges if you want to dose the information to the viewer in that way? Does it work on the script on the level of script, or it's more in the editing? I was wondering what was the attention that you were putting on those levels of work within the project?
Yeah, it was exactly that on the script development was very hard to condense a lot of exposition, that it's suspenseful in a sense that the main challenge was that in this short film there is a lot of exposition that you have to do. And the main challenge was how to put this exposition that the audience want to know with as with the character, not just to like throw a lot of information and you just sit through like an introductory video, but it's kind of like there is a desire to know. So that's I figure out it through writing a few drafts of script, and then I figure out how to do it in a more suspenseful way. Of course, the first draft was very like dull. It was just a lot of exposition, and yeah.
And then at the end happens this. No, I'm not going to say it, but the aspect of shock value is built on this stuff that's going on before, and I hope that many viewers are going to have a chance to be put in front of the screen to experience that, because as I said, the shock value is pretty high in your film. Thank you for finding time for us. I hope to see you in Gdynia. We're going to talk more, and we're going to also see how people will react to this experience of watching your film.
Yeah, I'm very curious to see, and thank you for your time as well.
Thank you very much. Dziękuję wszystkim za uwagę i do zobaczenia.
Do zobaczenia w Gdyni.